So it's called Smallwood Bees. The primary of it is making lip balms. I do get a bit of honey, but not a lot of honey, because I've got some beehives, and that was the original sort of what do I do with like wax and things like that, and I thought about making lip balm. And so mixed it together, because you can have beeswax and honey, but you need other products with it as well. So I have to buy them in, because it's things like coconut oil, shea butter, which obviously I can't make. So mixed it together and then made this lip balm. I've got the mix of ingredients, and it's something like, I don't know how much it is in total, but it's a big bowl, and you basically melt it all down. So you add all the ingredients together. So the main one is beeswax, that's the main one. But then there's shea butter, almond oil, coconut oil, olive oil, vitamin E and honey. So you just put them all in together and you melt them down. If it was plastic, I could get a nice little thing which sits on top, you pour it all over, you then leave it, you cut it, but because they're all cardboard, every one has to be individually filled. And what's even worse is you can't fill it to the top, because if you fill it to the hot top, when it sets you get a sinkhole in the middle, so I have to fill them all nearly to the top and then top them up afterwards when they've set a bit. So there's no quick way of doing it. So what I do now, I make a big vat and then pour it into smaller jars, and then when I want to make some more, I'll melt that smaller jar kind of thing. So that's the best way of doing it. So it's just a case of, it just takes a long time really. The actual effort in doing it, easy, but it takes a long time. But me personally, I don't particularly like lip balm in tins, I prefer tube. And so I looked at doing like a tube which you normally have, really cheap to do it in plastic, really easy. But like the problem with plastic, it's the problems that it presents are the problems that it's good for as well. It's super cheap, lasts forever. The problem is it's super cheap, it lasts forever. No, I wouldn't go back to plastic. I just wouldn't bother. I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't. No, I'd never go back to plastic. I mean, like the tubes would be great. No, I'd never go. I'd never do that, because it's kind of like there's plenty of that about. Why bother, kind of thing. Plastic's obviously the problem. I mean, I don't know if you know about the person who invented the plastic bag. It's absolutely tragic. He invented it because it was as an environmental positive, because it was cheap to lot lower carbon footprint to make them paper bags, and it lasted. But because it was so cheap, they just didn't reuse it. You know, imagine a plastic bag; it will last for a long time without you can use it again and again. So I get how that came about, but yeah, just trying to reduce that. Unfortunately, being green isn't cheap. I don't know exactly, but I think each tube for me costs. It's one of those ones where if you buy like 1 million, they'd be cheaper. It's a case of it isn't easy being green on all aspects. I do this as a hobby more than anything. If I had to do it for real, I think it'd be so difficult. It'd be so difficult. So I've no desire to try and make it a real like profession, certainly at this time, because it is so difficult. So my advice would be, yeah, probably good luck. I'm not able to do it. I try and buy, from good sources, sort of thing. Shea butter, again, you got like from the things where it say it's from the farmer, so hopefully it's supporting like more local. So I try and do that. Even things like, I don't pick up litter everywhere, but like I try and pick up 3 pieces of litter when I go outside, just to kind of like, okay, I've done something. You know, just trying to like do it, like I say, do because it's the right thing to do. You're not going to fix the world on your own, and people will always shoot you down and be like, oh, you could have done this, you could do this, what about that? There's always more you can do. However, doing anything's better than nothing, sort of thing. The best thing you can do is actually just don't buy anything. That's the best thing, like not consuming. However, if we are going to consume less of it, make sure you use it all in like a more ethical product. That's probably that's the compromise, isn't it?